Zach Wilson and the New York Jets are flying into the Mile High Stadium, take on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, who are trying to start what is called a winning streak in Denver here, as they did win a game last week against the Chicago Bears and the Battle of the Worst. And shockingly, actually enough, I thought that this would also have been a Battle of the Worst as well coming in. But props to Zach Wilson, man. Just a great story as well. I mean, he played his heart out Sunday night against Kansas City Chiefs, put up a whale of a game, and especially too just with all the crap that he's been getting thrown his way. Some of it maybe is deserved. Maybe there's been some questionable leadership decisions in his past, but man, even how he handled everything after the game, I want to see them do well. Everything the Jets have been going through. There's been so much hype around the Jets. I feel like the Jets have kind of turned into the Detroit Lions of the AFC a little bit. And so kind of want to toss it over to you here. What are your expectations? Do you think Zach Wilson can repeat the performance he had on Sunday night? And what do the Jets need to do to come out victorious this week?
The Jets need to do what the Bears did not do, and that is play 4 quarters of football. The Broncos should not have won last week. I've been very critical of New England for being bad. The Denver Broncos are worse. They are the worst team in football right now. This defense does not look very good, and then this offense, I think, has no faith in Russell Wilson at all, and they're playing like it. So I'll be very curious to see how this game ends up playing out. But for me, the Jets need to come in, not make mistakes, let this defense do its thing, get after Russell Wilson, create turnovers. That was not a hold on Sauce Gardner. Keep playing the way that you're playing. I think the Jets should win this game. I don't want to say easily, because there's no such thing as like an easy game in the NFL. I just think this defense is going to be too much for the Broncos to handle.
Yeah. I think before then, I know talked all about Zach Wilson there, and I hope he has a similar performance and see that growth. I kind of have been saying like let's give this guy a shot here because his offensive line sucks. The play calling was significantly better last week.
Yeah, the offensive line actually looked decent.
Well, I think a lot of it, though, too, was just the overall aggressiveness of the play calling. It definitely, from what I saw, looked a lot more dynamic, not as basic, not just a simple like 3-step drop back. Okay, let's do a post, let's do an in route. Then like we'll have our dump off pass or our check down pass. Sorry, I was blanking on the term of it.
Yeah,
but. They look much more dynamic. He was making some amazing throws. I love seeing him put his body on the line trying to be that team leader. All that being said, though, if he does regress a little bit, this Jets defense is still going to win the game for them. I just don't see how Denver is going to be able to put up points against Quinn Williams, Sauce Gardner, and all those guys. Also, then too, just in general, I mean, this defense. I mean, this Jets offensive line normally has lost in the trenches. I think that they should do fine.
Yeah, there's not really a threat, I think, for them to really like do any damage with this defensive line. I mean, and so like for me, I like that to me is a push, and then this Jets defensive front will manhandle this offensive line. So
and that's. It just shows you how bad this Broncos team is, man. I mean, it's just it's one of my coworkers. It's funny. I asked him if he watched the Bears game, and he's like, "I watched like last Saturday in Week 3. I watched Colorado lose 42-7, and then I watched Miami put up 70 points on my Broncos. You know what I did this weekend? I did not watch a lick of football. I laughed. I'm like, I completely understand because it's just kind of sad and pathetic. Like. I complimented a lot of Justin Fields, and I've been defending Justin Fields, and he looked really good this past Sunday. The Bears definitely should have won the game. Justin Fields was the best player on that field. And the Broncos made him look like he was like an MVP caliber quarterback. And there's definitely potential there with Fields, and I think some growth opportunities not being utilized among, that well in Chicago. But because they're not utilizing him that well and because that team sucks, any competent NFL defense should have been able to handle Justin Fields and company, and the Broncos were not able to. And so they got really lucky with the conservative play calling from Eberflus, and then the dumb aggressive play calling at the very end. for not kicking a field goal. Jets are going to win this one, and so Broncos, I think, are tanking for Caleb at this point.
Yeah,
they're trying to. It's like they were trying to, but they didn't tank well enough.
Yeah. So I think that's going to wrap up this video. We're both going with the Jets. They're just, I think, in my opinion, the better all-around team, and I think they're all behind at least their coach per se. So I was going to say they're behind their quarterback, but I still don't know if they're fully behind Zach Wilson even after that performance.
They looked a little bit better. Lazard and Cobb and all those guys were like, Wilson played well. I mean, he showed heart. I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, and his actions after the game were good. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Is it going to be the New York Jets? Is it going to be the Denver Broncos? Let us know what you think. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.